Lots of old phones and computers and other electronics are piling up, and it's raising the question of what to do with all your old stuff. The world created a record 42 million tons of e-waste last year. Mark New shares with us what innovators are doing to solve or recycle the problem.
The UN University report estimates only 1/6 of the world's record-breaking e-waste was recycled or reused. The U.S. throws out more old electronics than any other country in the world, but they are far from #1 when it comes to recycling it.
I'd have to say that the U.S. stacks up pretty poorly compared to, for example, the European Union. The U.S. doesn't have any national laws around electronic recycling. It's been left up to the states.
Davis says 26 U.S. states have such laws, meaning 24 don't.
It's not very cost effective to recycle most electronic products. I mean, I'm talking about products like your coffee pot and your microwave. And so what happens to them is they typically end up getting shipped overseas. And that means to maybe Asia or Africa or India, where the labor is cheaper and sometimes the environmental regulations aren't enforced. A lot of people are injured and hurt trying to basically extract the metals.
Davis says the recycling effort needs to begin all the way back at the product drawing board.
All the companies should be designing their products to be recycled. One of the reasons why it's not cost effective to recycle in the U.S. is because the products are so difficult to get apart or to disassemble.
Despite the difficulties, a few bold private companies have forged ahead. Green Citizen has 6 San Francisco Bay Area locations in the quest to make it convenient for anyone to just drop off their e-waste.
We are a social responsible business, basically that we're not just into it for the money. We also try to create a social environmental good. And we try to create a model which addresses not only the business recycling need, but also the consumer recycling needs. Most of our competitors only focus on businesses. As you can imagine, from business, the items tend to be newer, they can get more value for it, but that's why we're different.
Cal's operation handles nearly 2 million kilograms of waste a year. Staff go through every piece, even retrieving serial numbers, so they can track where the device comes from and where it will go. Green Citizen sorts the incoming waste into more than 50 different categories, so it can easily be sold to other vendors to recover the valuable materials. After an old computer is broken down, the remaining value of the metal is only about $2 US. As computer chips get smaller and smaller, that value is becoming less and less, which means it's better for the environment, but also more expensive to recycle, even though you put in the same amount of labor. But newer items like iPhones and iPads have parts that can add up to several $100s. Green Citizen also has come up with other revenue streams that help cover the cost of the expensive parts of recycling. They'll crush your hard drive for $20. Products are often repaired, and the quality stuff is sold on both Amazon and eBay. Green Citizen also has its own store where customers like Ayub Yaku bought 5 second-hand monitors for less than $100 US.
It saved me quite a bit of money, and it allows me also to recycle, so I can actually buy equipment that's usually going to go into recycle. You know, there's a lot of toxins in this stuff. I mean, there's just lots and lots of chemicals that involves in building this stuff. So I'm aware of that, and however little I can do, I'll do.
The concept is that every metropolitan should have its own recycling reuse mechanism so they can process as much as possible without pushing the item to another county, another state, another country to deal with their own waste. And once we are successful in doing that, then we will want to replicate this to all the major cities in the U.S. and all over the world.
Cal says government should work with manufacturers to create a built-in recycling cost that consumers pay up front. He says although retailers and manufacturers have resisted this so far, e-waste is only growing, and that ultimately a price must be paid. Mark New, CCTV, San Francisco.